By the end of these 15 minutes, your mind will feel calmer, your body will feel stronger, and your to-do list will still be there, but I promise you, you will handle it so much better. Welcome back to Yoga with Jenna. Today, we'll be practicing opening up through the side of the body to melt away tension in the low back and the hips. So let's get started. You might appreciate having at least one block with you today. So if you have one handy, keep it nearby. If you don't worry about it. There will be a lot of different options today. We'll get started in a seated position on your mat. So you can sit up cross-legged or you can sit up onto your shins, whatever feels comfortable. If you feel like your hips are really tight already, keep your hips elevated. You might choose to sit up onto that yoga block, so that way your knees are about the same height as your hips. So find any position that feels comfortable for you for a few moments, and place one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest, and close your eyes. Let's take 3 deep breaths together, beginning our practice. Breathe in through your nose, fill all the way up. And take an open mouth, slow exhale. And then again, a nice slow breath in. And an open mouth sigh, releasing any tension out of the shoulders or your hips. One more time like that. Breathing in through the nose. Exhaling out of the mouth. And start to open up your eyes, and let's get started. Let's take both your arms up. First, get length through your sides of your body by reaching the fingers high, and then drop your right hand down to the floor into a side bend over to the right. Come back up through the middle as you breathe in with your 2 arms up, and then exhale, tilt over to your opposite side. We'll do that each side 2 more times. Breathe in, tip to the right as you breathe out. Breathe into the middle, and breathe out, tip over to the left. Breathe in through the middle. This time as we tip to the right, we're going to stay to the right for a few breaths. So you might stay with your palm pressing. You might drop your forearm down onto a block on any setting, or you might be able to get the arm all the way down onto the ground. So you choose. We're going to hold here a couple of breaths. Try to rotate your chest upwards towards the sky and soften your left sit bone down towards the earth. So good. Take 2 more breaths, staying with it. And then slowly come back up with your arms down by your sides. Just take a couple shoulder rolls. Notice that release in that left side of the body. I'm so used to my public classes mirroring and doing the opposite, but today I'm doing the same side right along with you. If you used to block, bring it over to the other side as we get into the hold on the other side of our body. So let's reach the arms up. First, get that length through your sides. And then we'll take the left arm down, either staying on the palm. You might drop your forearm to a block and tip over towards your left. And a couple deep breaths here, rotating your chest slightly up. Not too much, just till your shoulders feel kind of even here, so we're not rounding towards the ground or opening too far up towards the sky. Nice deep breaths into your right side of your rib cage, creating space for breath. Side bends are so great for opening up space in our rib cage, creating that movement to be able to breathe into. One more deep breath. And slowly release, coming all the way back up into a seated position. You can move the block out of the way if you had it. And now we'll take a wide-legged straddle seat. So take your legs as wide apart as you can. Again, if your hips or your low back are tight, you might sit up for this one on the edge of a block or a folded up blanket. And then we're going to isolate first the right leg. So bring your hands to frame your right leg, and you walk the hands down. I'm pretty tight this morning, so if you're feeling tight too, you might just keep the hands on the ground. If you are able to, or you'd like to reach your ankle, your calf, or your foot, go ahead and reach for that. Stretching again through not just the right hamstring, but feeling that little bit of an arc across the left side of your body. A lot of times from stress and tension in the shoulders, we limit the ability to move the rib cage, which is essential for our breath. And if we can't breathe deep into our ribs, it actually stimulates a stress response in our bodies, being that our breath is a bit shorter. So all of these stretches will leave you feeling a little bit calmer, just by way of being able to take deeper and slower breaths. So thank yourself for setting aside this time. One more deep breath here. And then we'll come back up. Take a moment before switching to the other side. And when you're ready, we'll go ahead, frame your left leg, walk down. And this is definitely my tight side. So you can either keep the hands down, maybe hold your leg or your foot. If you have a strap handy, you can put the strap around the sole of your foot. Taking a few deep breaths. And the hamstring stretch might be feeling like the most obvious part of the stretch, but can you feel a little bit of that arc across the right side of your body, and even emphasize that by sending the breath a little bit more in your mind towards the right lung. Take 2 more breaths and feeling that slow release. And then slowly start to come back up into a seated position. Let's use the hands to assist your knees back in, and then we'll come into a downward facing dog. So swing your knees around, walk your hands forward, tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back. And then take a little pedal through your feet, shake your head side to side. And then staying in your down dog, lift your heels as high off the ground as you can, and then swivel both your heels towards the right side, placing your outer right foot down, your inner left foot down. Push through your left hand a bit more, feeling that stretch across the left side. And then bring your heels back to the middle, and then swivel them to the opposite side, pressing the right hand down, stretching through the right side. Bring your heels back up to the ceiling, and then walk your hands in towards your feet. Keep the knees bent, and one vertebra at a time, start to slowly roll up to standing. Once you're standing, turn the palms to face forward. Take a few breaths, just allowing that blood flow back down from your head to your feet. Scanning your body with your awareness from your head to your toes. Let's start to open up your eyes. Now we'll take a wide-legged stance facing the long edge of your mat. And if you have blocks, you'll take one block to either side on its highest setting, just so you can reach it in case you'd like to use it. If you only have one block today, keep the block on the right side, and we'll move it when we're switching sides. Bring your hands to your hips, and your feet are pretty wide apart. We'll turn your right leg to point towards to the short edge of your mat there. Turn the knee in the same direction as your toes, and then tee your arms out to a big wide shape there. Gaze down your right arm and start to reach your right hand forward. Kick your left hip a little up, and then reach your right hand down. You might find your block and place it on its highest setting, someplace between your big toe and your knee, into our triangle pose. If having the hand on the block is too far down, you can take the hand up onto your knee. Just make sure you're not pushing into the knee to hyperextend it. Into our triangle, pressing strongly through your feet. And now remaining in the triangle for just a moment, bring your left hand onto your left hip, Roll your left shoulder up towards the ear and back, and then pull your left hip a little back in space. Now, reach that left arm back up to the sky, and then sweep it alongside your ear, reaching in the same direction your right toes are pointing, opening up with your reach and the press through your left foot. Take a big deep breath, staying with it. And then bring the left hand back onto your hip, soften the right knee. You can move the block and rise back up into a standing position. Turn your right toes back in, and now we'll switch to the other side. So if you're working with just one block today, move the block over to the left side. Turn your left toes now to point towards the short edge of your mat. Left knee points in the same direction as your toes. Tee your arms wide to the sides. Reach your left fingers towards where your left toes are pointing. Place the hand either down onto your shin, your knee, or find that block again, placing it somewhere between your foot and your knee, reaching the right arm up into triangle pose. This is one of my favorite postures here. Press down through your feet, reach up through your right fingers, and then place the right hand to your hip and use it as a little roll of the right shoulder to the ear and back. Pull your right hip a little bit back in space. And then keeping all of that happening, reach the right arm back up to the sky and then alongside the ear. Turn the palm to face the floor and reach your right fingers in the same direction of your left toes. Press your right foot down until you feel some strength and opening up through that body. One more full cycle of breath. And then soften that front knee a little bit. Bring your right hand back onto your hip. You can move the block and rise back up into standing. Turn your left toes back in to point towards the long edge of your mat. Now interlace your fingers behind your low back. Soften the knees a bit and try to lock out the elbows to open up through the chest. Look up, open through the throat, breathe in. And then as you exhale, hinge into a wide-legged fold with the fingers interlaced. If this hurts your shoulders, just release the interlace, bring the hands to the ground. If you'd like a deeper stretch in the shoulders, keep moving the hands away from your low back towards the sky. Shift the weight a little towards your toes, lift the hips up. And give a little shake of the head no, shake the head yes. Ending on a positive note. One more breath. And then start to bend the elbows, release the hands all the way down to the ground. Heel toe your feet a bit closer so they're still wider than your hips, but just only slightly. Turn your toes out and your heels in and come into a Malasana yoga squat. This is a good place to also take that block and sit up onto it. Bring your hands to your heart and press your elbows out into your knees. And we'll keep your right elbow pressing into the knee. Bring your right fingers to reach or onto the ground. Reach the left arm up to open and twist. Now, similar to our triangle pose, take the left arm up over your head, reaching away from your tailbone. Take a big breath in. And exhale, come back to the middle. Bring your left elbow now to pin your left leg in place. You might bring the fingers to reach down or onto the ground and extend the right arm up. Now sweep the right arm out over your head alongside the ear. Reach out from your sit bones through the fingers. Take a big breath in. And exhale, come back into the middle. If you're seated on a block, you can remove it out of the way. Bring your toes to point forward and then come down into a seated position. Any seat is fine. If you'd like to sit up on your shins or cross-legged, let's take a hand to the belly just like we started. Hand to the belly, hand to the chest. Close your eyes again. Taking this last moment together to thank yourself for showing up today. Every time we set aside 15 minutes or however long you have to fill our cups. It allows us to show up better for those that we love, to be more present in our lives. So thank you for showing up. And every little drop in the bucket counts as a vote towards the person that we are hoping to be. Let's take a big breath in together. Exhale it out, letting it go. You can open up the eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope that you leave your mat feeling so much better than when you first began. If you enjoyed this practice, let me know down below which pose was your favorite and what would you like to see moving in the future. Like and subscribe to the channel so that way you never miss an upload from me or an opportunity to feel better in your body or calmer in your mind. Every time that you interact with our channel, it also helps push this content out so other people can also find it. So we so appreciate you, and thank you again for showing up and practicing with me. Namaste.